Hello all, welcome to the 15th episode of our web series Loan Flex, Abroad Education Loans Simplified. This is Damini, co-founder of VMake Scholars, and as usual I am very excited to cover another topic for you guys, which is on how to save huge money on your education loan through the income tax section ATE. So in this episode I'll be covering the section details. I will talk about how much you can save and how to claim the savings. And interestingly, I'll also talk about in what case section ATE might not be a benefit to you. So before we start, I just want to give a brief to those who are new to LoanFlex. So LoanFlex is a web series through which we at VMake Scholars try to educate you about everything related to education loan. So in the past 14 episodes, we have already covered the process, the terms and conditions and documentation of loans from government banks, private lenders, NBFCs and even foreign lenders, and also a lot of other topics as well. So do follow the series if you want to make sure that you are taking a wise decision on your loan. So let's start, guys. Section ATE of the Income Tax Act is a bliss to all those students who are taking an education loan. So Section ATE says that the entire interest component of the EMI paid towards the education loan repayment can be claimed as a deduction in your income tax. This means that the whole interest which you paid is tax free. So for example, if your father's income is 10 lakhs, taxable income is 10 lakhs per annum. He is paying 30% tax. So about 3 lakhs he pays to government every year. So for example, if you took a loan of 30 lakhs and after 2.5 years you got a job and you started earning the EMI and you transfer it to your father's account and then he paid to the bank. Now if you plan to repay this loan in 8 years, you will be paying approximately 25 lakhs as interest during the entire tenure, which means approximately 3.1 lakh will be your interest component every year. So if your father claims this 3.1 lakh as a deduction, he will be paying approximately 1 lakh lesser tax than otherwise. So which means in the entire tenure of loan of 8 years, you will be saving 8 lakhs just because of section ATE. That's huge, guys. I hope it is clear till here. If you have any question about the calculation or the terms, feel free to mention it in the comment section and I'll get back for sure. This section further highlights 3 key terms. Number 1, the deduction can be claimed by the applicant, that is the student, or by the co-applicant, that is your parent or anyone who is coming as a co-applicant. So if you are back to India during the repayment time, you can claim it, or else let your father or any other co-applicant claim it, but only one of you can claim it. Number 2, this deduction can only be claimed for a period of up to 8 years. So that is one primary reason why we at VMake Scholars don't suggest you to start your repayment during your study period, because during this period you will be generally making very smaller payments. So if you start claiming tax deduction, you might not be getting like very huge tax saving because you are paying like very smaller payments, but you'll still be losing an year or two from that golden period of 8 years of tax free interest. Also preferably keep your loan repayment tenure also lesser than 8 years or 8 years. Number 3, the deduction can only be claimed for an education loan which is taken for the purpose of higher education. That is any full-time graduate or postgraduate program in any subject area, and loan should be taken from an RBI approved financial institution or charitable institution. So how to quickly calculate how much saving this Section 80 brings to you? So for example, if you have taken a 10 lakhs loan at 10% ROI per annum, so you will be paying, your annual interest will be approximately 1 lakh rupees, right? So on this 1 lakh, if you or your co-applicant, the taxpayer, is in 10% tax bracket, you will be saving 10,000 rupees because this 1 lakh is interest free. So you effectively actually pay only 90,000 rupees as your interest, not 1 lakh rupees. So if you effectively calculate, you paid only 9% interest, not 10%, right? 90,000 on 10 lakh rupees is 9%. So similarly, if the taxpayer would have been in 20% tax bracket, the saving will be 20,000 rupees, which means the effective will become 8% interest rate only in this particular case. Similarly, if the taxpayer is in 30% tax bracket, the effective ROI will be only 7%. You see how this particular section is bringing so huge saving in your interest rate. And you are getting this saving only because you are an Indian national and taking loan from an Indian bank. You will not get this saving if you take the loan from a foreign lender. So let me do this for you guys. What you can do is mention the exact loan amount which you plan to take and for how many years, and the estimated tax bracket for your co-applicant or you in future. Mention it in the comment section and I'll reply to each one of you with the estimated amount of saving which you will be getting through this section. Very simple. When you file tax, you have to mention under section 80E that you have paid a certain amount towards the interest of your education loan or towards the interest of your kids' education loan. And when you are calculating the taxable income, you have to deduct this amount from the total. For salaried employees, you have to provide these proofs of interest payment to your company before TDS. For your information, for the financial year 2019 to 2020, the tax brackets are as follows. So there is no tax for an income up to 2.5 lakhs. There is 5% tax for income up to 5 lakhs. 20% tax if your taxable income is above 5 lakhs, and 30% tax if your taxable income is above 10 lakhs. So you can decide the tax bracket and the saving accordingly. Though I had been praising this section a lot over my last few videos, I want you guys to understand that this section might not be bringing a lot of saving to you in the following cases. Situation 1. If you are not going to be in India after your studies and you will be working abroad, so you will not be getting any benefit because you will not be filing taxes in India, and your co-applicant doesn't earn enough. So if he doesn't earn enough, which means he doesn't file enough taxes as well, and hence the saving will also be minimal. Situation 2. Your co-applicant is retired or about to be retired. So generally after retirement, their taxable income will reduce drastically because of senior citizen quota, and also because pension is definitely much lower than their last drawn salary. And situation 3, if your co-applicant is NRI and also you will not be in India during your repayment years. So even in this case, none of you will be claiming the tax benefit, and hence the benefit will be nil. So if your taxable income is lower, the benefit also will be lower, and if they or you pay nil tax, then the benefit also will be nil. Hence you may not get significant advantage of this section if you are in any of the above mentioned situations. So that's it guys. I hope you found this video useful, and as I mentioned, please write in the comments section how much loan you plan to take for how many years and the estimated tax bracket for your co-applicant or you in future as per the tax slabs, and I'll get back to each one of you with the estimated savings you can expect because of section 80E. Do subscribe to our channel if you found this video useful, and do like and share it with your friends who are planning to study abroad. Now you can also let me know which specific topics about loans you want me to cover, and I'll come up with a video on that. So write it in the comments section. Stay tuned for my next episode, which is gonna be on subsidies offered by Indian government with respect to abroad education loans. So that will be talking about another mega saving in your loan if you are qualified for it. So do come back for that. Bye bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to never miss any updates from us.